Welcome to Ring the Damn Bell. I am your host, Kevin, and with me, as always, is my bud, my confidant, you wrestling enthusiast, Mark. What's going on, man? Staying warm?
Yeah, my hands are cold though. You're confident, huh? Why are you
Yeah,
buttering
I
me?
figured. I figured I'd throw you a bone tonight.
I was gonna say, why are you buttering me up? What do you want?
Couple of things to go over. One, AEW Grand Slam. Um, they amongst the 18 to 49 demographic, they were a staggering 110% increase over the previous week. They ranked fourth in programs amongst cable, only being beat out by the three basically basketball games out there. There was I think a college game, and then the big winner of the night was the NBA All-Star coverage on TNT. That finished on top. Now, because Grand Slam started directly after the basketball game, the All-Star coverage game, they actually started out with a huge audience for the first 8 minutes. There was over 1 million viewers, but unfortunately, by time Grand Slam ended, it was 294,000. But this is the thing when it comes to something like that. As a wrestling fan, I thought that it was good bell to bell. We gave it a solid B on our recap of it. I understand that ratings are important within the business sense, but I think with professional fans, man, I don't know. I think there's too many supposedly, smart fans out there who, want to go by ratings and to determine if the show was good or not. And I disagree. I think that even, if they would have, even if they would have ended even with less people than 294,000 out of that million, it was still a goddamn good show. Then also, apparently Logan Paul, for whatever reason, is banned from Egypt. They haven't come out with the reason as of yet. Him and some friends apparently were going there. He got heard back from his friends stating, "Hey, bud, government contacted me and said that we could go, but you can't." Logan Paul said he does not know why. He's never been to Egypt. I guess over the next week or month, if you really care, which I don't, it's a newsworthy item, the reason why will come out. Also, one other thing, on March 29th, we have an opportunity to help raise money for people with autism. How so? Professional wrestling. There is an amazing event taking place in Ohio. It's called Dylan's Annual Autism Awareness Fundraiser, and it's in Navarre, Ohio. And let me make sure I pronounce that correctly, actually. I usually have a cheat sheet, but it's too bad. I think that's correct. Um, but anyway, it's an awesome card. Mike Knox is going to be there. In a match, you're going to have meet and greets with Baby Doll and Scotty Riggs from WCW. The card all around is absolutely awesome. You guys can actually find more information by it online by just Googling it, or you can find me on social media I'm on Facebook. Just type in RTDB on Facebook and you will pull me up. You can also buy your tickets at Eventbrite. So if you're in Ohio or if you have the opportunity to travel, this is something that is amazing that's happening. We were able to enjoy something we love, which is professional wrestling, and as well help people with autism. I'm going to be there as well. So if you guys want to say hello to me, although I am not I'm not a legend by any means. I'm just saying, if you say my face, don't be shy. You can say hello to me. That's fine. So, but let's get into Dynamite. The show was decent. There was a couple of issues that I have that we're going to go over, but for the most part, I thought that it was a good show. I don't think it was as good as the previous two Dynamites, but nonetheless, it was still pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Yeah, there were a couple flaws, but for the most part, and it wasn't as good as the last 2 weeks, still, but it's still better than what we've seen over the last 6. Uh, Jeff looked pretty poor.
Yeah. So, Mark, real quick, I don't know what the issue is. You are coming in and out really bad. I can hardly hear anything you're saying. I thought it was originally my equipment, but it's not.
Well, it should be mine. Unless my phone's too loud or something.
Yeah, I can hear you fine now.
All right. Well, let's keep going. See if that works.
Yeah.
Let's see. MGF questions Page's past and how the fans can still cheer for him. Regardless of what he's done, including burning a house down. End result is they couldn't touch each other, otherwise they'd lose their match at the next pay-per-view, which was misleading because it was supposed to be last night, but okay. MGF ended up spitting on him and pretty much after that.
Yeah, so a couple of things. The biggest thing that really bothered me last night was actually what you just mentioned. And maybe I thought I was crazy until I actually spoke to you about it. It was announced last week that they would be facing each other tonight. It was a wrestling match. Matter of fact, I even said on last week's podcast that I thought they were crazy for giving this away for free. That I hope that this was just the first match to build up their feud against one another. So when MJF came out in a fucking suit or a sports coat and dress pants and dress shoes, I'm like, what the fuck? And that's when I contacted you. It's little things like this that hurts AEW because of Tony Khan. They've got to get their shit together. I mean, there's some things you can't control. Shit like this, you got to control this shit. Now, it was announced that it was going to be on the next pay-per-view, which I love this. I thought that last night, starting off with both of these guys getting promos, I liked it a lot and made me feel like I was watching an old episode of AEW when we were having these fire promos and these really good feuds. And the crowd was into it, regardless of what you say, Mr. Cook, our third co-host on Tuesdays, thought that the crowd was silent for this. He did admit that he was drifting in and out, though, but he apparently drifted out because the crowd was not silent. There were very loud chants of cowboy shit. There were even a few chants for MJF, actually. So I like this a lot. I think it was a good way to start off AEW. What are your thoughts? Did you like this? Did you not like this?
It was one of the better promos I've seen in a long time. Although I think MGF can carry anybody because I don't think Adam Page is all that spectacular on promos, to be honest. But Page did fairly decent.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like we're getting the old MJF back. And not anything that his fault that he started sucking. It's just what they had him in. And, it's just, to me, a lot of the crap that they've had him in since he's been back has just been so just not good that there really wasn't anything for him to build on to have those fire promos. They finally have him back into something of substance, and I feel like we have the old MJF back, and I'm really glad to see this. This really, although I said that AEW wasn't as good as it has been the past two episodes, I stand by that. At the same time, having another good AEW is starting to give me hope each and every week that they're getting back on the same or back on a better road than what they have been on.
With that being said, what's going on with Jeff Jarrett and MGF? That just thrown along the wayside now?
You know, you're the asshole that kicks people in the nuts whenever they're smiling. Because now that you bring that up, I'm like, God damn it, this is something else that they just fucking dropped. Although him losing against Claudio and not being able to have that title shot, did that end it? But at the same time, it was MJF's fault that he lost to begin with. Did Jeff Jarrett take time off? I mean, look, as far as we know, they could be planning something that Jeff Jarrett, he's been off of television. I haven't seen him in the past couple of weeks since that match, actually. Maybe he's going to come back and turn heel and partner up with MJF in some form or fashion to beat Hangman. I don't know, but you're right. The whole storyline with MJF just seems to have fell by the waist. And again, little shit like this that hurts AEW.
Pretty much. All right, so next we go to a recap of Grand Slam. We don't need to go over that. Then we got the Patriarch versus the Ops. Shibata made Nick Wayne of the Yuta Wheeler of the Patriarch tap out, which was Nick Wayne. Shibata's just a diamond, Joe's always good, and Hook's getting there.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like was the name, the Ops. I just don't like it, and it's something very little, and I don't think it makes that big of a difference. I'm just saying I don't like it. So now we have two factions with names I think it's terrible: the Death Riders and now the Ops. And if we throw in Adam Copeland's name now being Cope, terrible. Although the one thing I like about Moxley is when he's addressing Adam Copeland, he doesn't call him Cope. He calls him fucking Adam Copeland. So I think maybe maybe Moxley thinks that Cope sucks too.
And you're gonna totally ignore the learning tree, huh?
Fuck yeah, the learning tree. So yeah, there's three horrible fucking factions. You're right, but the learning tree is so fucking forgettable that I forgot completely about them. So
sorry, I didn't mean to kick you in the nuts. All right, so next we go to a recap of Bandito actually pinning Chris Jericho, I guess down in Australia somewhere. Again, Bandito's surprisingly strong for a guy his size.
Yeah, and I was surprised because this had to be one of their matches that be pre-show on Saturday. That's what I'm guessing, unless they had a show there in Australia the night before. I don't know, but if it was indeed a show before the cameras was on, a dark match, if you will, I'm really surprised that Bandito and Jericho was a dark match. Not saying that Jericho's great anymore, but the fact of just his name in general.
No, it sounds like Ring of Honor had a show down there, so it might have been.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, I don't really pay too much attention to AEW's development show, because that's basically what it is.
Pretty much.
Which at the same time, I mean, you have some top people over there that shouldn't be over there. If that's the case, they should be on the main roster, but that's another conversation.
Pretty much. So, all right. So next we go to an interview with Chris Jericho, tearing up the bounty and pretty much giving Bandito a title shot on Collision this Saturday, which I was really surprised. And to be quite honest, I think it's a good match for Collision, to be honest.
It is, but I tell you, he should have tore up that fucking bounty paper when they handed it to him backstage from the get-go and said, this shit sucks, because it just didn't work.
Oh my God. I said something like 6 weeks ago that we need a good bounty nowadays. No, I don't think Bandito's the one I'd want, but I'm all for somebody putting a bony on somebody's head. All right, so next we go to
You know
house.
what? Real quick, let's go to that, right? This has been done before in professional wrestling. The difference is, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was, I want to say the Four Horsemen was involved. I can't remember. But because of how well it was done, it worked. Um, this just didn't work for AEW when they did it. It came out cheesy. If you do that type of a storyline where you're putting money on somebody's head for them to be injured, it needs to be done well, and there needs to be some brutality added to it. This just was not it.
Not only that, but you got to have people lining up to collect on the bounty. So 3 weeks, you got to have 3 different people besides the learning tree chasing this bounty.
Right.
You
Right. Yep.
Guy who was it? Dick Slater was always good for bounty hunts.
Yeah.
He
Dick Slater was also brutal. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. So,
I mean, Dick Slater would bust you open the hard way.
Yeah,
if he had to.
And he wouldn't ask you to do it either. All right, so next we go to House versus Big Bill street fight. Big Bill lost due to getting stuck in barbed wire. It was a pretty brutal match, other than the cement bricks bouncing.
Yeah, you know what? This is my critique with that. If, and it's not just this match, this is across the board. This is just my opinion. If you're going to use color in a match, then use a fucking blade. Fake blood, it looks terrible. Absolutely terrible, especially if it's to the head. Because as somebody who has had my head busted open a few times, even the smallest cut on your head bleeds like a bitch. The fake blood has to go in professional wrestling. Either use a blade and cut yourself, and get real color, or don't fucking use color at all. Because again, it looks absolutely terrible in my opinion.
If the kitchen's too hot, get out.
Exactly.
All right, so next we're going to do with the Murder Machine, which I thought was kind of a colorful name, which is
Cage and the Murder Hawk Archer.
Yeah, I was trying to. Oh, Brian Cage. I couldn't figure out his first name.
Yep.
They challenge for Collision for the Hurt Syndicate. So if that match goes down on a Collision, another good match added.
Yeah, and I don't hate this. But at the same time,
it's too soon.
It's not just that, Mark. It's again, and we've talked about this over and over again. The way Cage and Special As Archer has been booked, where they've been beat by small people, the Hurt Syndicate should wipe their asses with both of these guys, and this match should be a fairly quick match. I know they're big guys, but if you have fucking smaller guys, and I mean smaller guys like Darby fucking Allin, beating these two big guys, then goddamn, the Hurt Syndicate, the way they've been booked as being these brutal guys who will hurt you, which they should be booked this way, then sorry, I know this is Callis's family, but you have two big old pussies apparently. So if this is a hard, difficult battle, I'm not going to like it. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. Anytime that Leo Rush pins somebody like Brian Cage or Lance Archer, it's tragic.
Right.
And nothing against Leo Rush,
No.
But in what world, really? I mean, well, I know Chris Jericho took down Goldberg backstage.
Yeah, but Chris Jericho grew up with a dad that was a hockey player, and I'm pretty sure his dad probably taught him how to fight. And you brought up Brock Lesnar, and this is the thing, and I know a lot of people are pissed off and they cry and they moan and groan that basically Kofi Kingston had the title going against Brock Lesnar, that it was a squash match. But I'm sorry, it should have been a fucking squash match. Come on, right?
Hell yeah.
And my point of bringing up Brock Lesnar is this: you would never, ever see Brock Lesnar doing business and allowing himself to get pinned by Rush or by Darby Allin. I'm sorry, it just it that wouldn't happen, nor should it fucking happen. So they need to do a better job of booking their fucking big guys who should be killers on AEW instead of having them fucking job out to two small fucking guys, more than two small guys, multiple small guys.
Yeah, and how did it benefit Rush or Action Andretti? It didn't.
No.
So
Nope.
all right.
It was literally a waste.
Right. Yep, absolutely. All right, so next we go to Tony Storm to the ring. I beat you with my small package, and I tell you, Tony Storm was a bit raunchy last night, but damn it, I smiled and laughed, and I loved every minute of it. But
Yeah.
she left out, or she threw out some sexual innuendos that were just killer.
Yeah, she was pretty good last night. I'm curious to see where they're going to go from here. She made the comment that she basically took Mariah May out. Mariah May was not there last night. So I'm curious to see if a feud with Mariah May is going to continue, or are they going to move Tony Storm onto something else? I hope they move her onto something else. We've seen her Mariah May feud. She lost the title. Let's move on.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a match. They put on good matches, But I understand where you're going to. All right, so next we got a promo for Gable Kidd or Gabe Kidd. Guy is, but he sure looks impressive.
Yep. We'll see.
Yeah. So then we go to a Willow promo, complain about how Marina attacked Willow last week, and then Marina attacks her this week. Mox shows up. They go to the ring. Jay White comes out. Cope sneak attacks Mox, runs Mox off.
So one thing that I did notice, and I think this is the first time this has happened on AEW, correct me if I'm wrong, but Willow actually called Renee out and said, your husband attacked me. You're talking about his bodyguard, basically. Do you remember anyone else ever associating Renee and Moxley being?
Nope, sure don't. Sure don't.
Yeah. Yep. Hold on one second. All right, go ahead.
All right, so next we go with Monet and how she didn't want to have any disappointing news or whatnot, and told Renee to back off on that stuff. And lo and behold, Mumo challenges Monet, and apparently Mumo won some sort of tournament where she could challenge anybody in New Japan, AEW, and CLLM.
Right.
And going to challenge Monet for the TBS title.
So this is the problem with this. Unless you are someone that follows New Japan Wrestling, right? No one had any idea about this, especially your casual fans. And when it comes to your fan base, as far as wanting to have a certain fan come back, it is your casual fans, because your hardcore fans, people like you and I, like Bob and other people, we're going to tune in to watch professional wrestling regardless, right? But your casual fans aren't going to. Your casual fans are only going to come back if the product is something that is worthy enough, or if it's something that's familiar to them. Even as someone, go ahead.
You throw out the term hardcore fan, and I like to think we are, but neither one of us really follow New Japan Wrestling.
Right. That's what I said. Either for those who watch New Japan or possibly your hardcore fans. And you're right. So I wasn't familiar with this. You wasn't familiar with this. That's the first problem. The second problem is stop giving us fucking crap when it comes to Monet. There's nobody out there that believes that Monet is going to drop this fucking title to Momo. Nobody. Put her in a goddamn feud with at least somebody that we're going to be like, holy shit, this may be it. This may be the person to take the title off. Harley Cameron, I got the last name right. Harley Cameron, even though we mostly knew that she wouldn't win, because of how she's being booked and because of how hot she is, there was still that little bit of a, hope that we had that she would be the one. There's just, did you hear the fans go, make any type of a noise, any type of a pop when Bobo came up on screen? Nothing. Unless this was a pre-recorded interview, there was nothing. And if it was pre-recorded, Tony Khan, maybe you should add some fucking fans popping for this to make it seem like this is something worthy. Because again, between no one knowing what was happening and just the dead silence, I don't think anybody gives a fuck.
If you're going to use somebody from New Japan, have them come over a few times first, so we know who they are. That Sabre Jr. kid, I know who he is. He's a good wrestler. But like, same with this Gabe kid. He's New Japan. No idea who he is. Glad you gave me a promo so I know what to look for. Do I want to watch New Japan? Yeah, but I'm not going to be at 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it.
Right. Well, and this is the thing too. You're right. Bring Mumu over. Have her make an announcement. I am in this competition. And if I win this competition, AEW, Monet, there's a possibility I may choose you. And this is why you should be worried about me. And have her beat a couple of local talents in, have her in a couple of weeks to make her look strong as fuck, to make it look like, holy shit, if she wins, Monet could be in trouble. As of right now, I don't care.
Here's another thing that's going to piss you off. So what was it, 6 weeks to 3 months ago that Britt Baker was trying to challenge Monet? What happened to that? Gone.
Yep.
So, could Britt Baker strip Monet of the title? Yeah, I think so. As far as AEW is concerned, yeah, I think so.
Right. Nope, I agree.
All right. But where's that feud? Gone. Wait
right.
2 weeks.
Yep. Well, then again, where's Britt Baker?
Right. Supposedly headed to WWE. I don't know.
That's what the rumors are.
Yeah. All right. So then we go to Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander. This was a catch-a-can match. These guys were just hot, period. The end. It was a damn good match, and they went hold for hold, move for move, up until the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, love the match. Megan Bayne, I love her. She's my favorite wrestler. She can go. Chris Statlander, she put up a good match, a good match as well against her. But then they shit on the pot with the attack. They should have just allowed Megan Bayne and Penelope to beat the shit out of Chris Statlander instead of having Thunder Rose come out there with a fucking chair and basically do a fucking dance with it. That's exactly what happened. I mean, what the fuck was this when she kind of pretended like she was going to throw the chair at him? And then when they leave the ring, then she throws a chair. What the fuck was all of that? It was terrible.
And the fact that Penelope Ford almost took the damn chair from her, which I don't think was in the cards or in the script, but
right.
The thing, it almost handed it back to her.
Yeah. Did I say Penelope Cruz? Did I say Penelope Ford or Cruz?
I think you said Cruz. I'm not sure.
My bad. I meant Penelope Ford. Like I said, it was just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now, I do like Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford being put together.
Yep. Not as good as the bunny in her, but it's good stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so next we go to Bayne got the win, which really surprised me, to be honest.
I tell you why it didn't surprise me. It seems like they're giving Megan Bayne a huge push. And in order for this push to be successful, she has to beat somebody that is worthy enough to say, hey, I beat a champion, which Statlander was a champion. So.
Yeah, you're right. But it still surprised me because, Statlander's been there from day one, and she's been that company gal for him. So
Yeah. Now, the only thing that I'm in fear of is that they're going to put her, Megan Bain, in a feud soon with Tony Storm. And I don't want that to happen right now because we know Tony Storm is going to go over. I don't want Megan Bain to see her first defeat in AEW since she's been back. I would really prefer if they actually put her in a feud with Monet and have Monet drop a title to her. Let Bane be successful for quite a while with the title. Have her drop it when the time is right to go after Tony Storm.
yeah, I agree with that. I'm kind of curious who they're actually going to have. Monet drops the belt too, but it's going to be a world title shot sooner or later.
So here's a question for you. God, I can't remember. AEW has a women's tag team division for the women, don't they?
No.
No title? Okay.
No, but they have a Ring of Honor television title.
I don't want to see Bane go to freaking Ring of Honor.
No, I don't either. But all right, so next we go to Max Caster and his open challenge for Saturday. I'm almost intrigued with this, to be honest.
It's predictable.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see who comes out to face him.
Look, they're going to have him constantly do what he's doing, running from whoever comes out, unless it's some local fucking Joe that comes out. Until his partner comes back,
Yeah,
or his ex-partner. And hold on. They're gonna have a feud. Once that feud's over, you'll be hard pressed to see Max Caster on fucking television. He's going to be in the back of catering. Like he is not somebody that's going to constantly get television time. Without his partner, sorry guys, he's just not very good.
He
is a low mid-carder at best.
He's got good mic skills. His in-ring ability, I think his tag partner is better, to be honest. But I don't think his mic skills are as good as Caster's.
Yep. Now here's a question though. Speaking of those guys, Billy Gunn has been with them for a few years now. With them being broken up and with the Guns being back, do you foresee the Guns and Jack White being back together? Or do you think that they're going to keep Jack White as a singles now and the chances of us seeing Billy Gunn reunited with his two kids, the Guns?
I think Billy's looking at all his old running mates and seeing that they're taking back off his jobs. Road Dogg, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. I think Billy's getting to the point where he's probably realizing he should probably stay backstage in some sort of role, whether it's a trainer, producer, whatever. I don't know. Billy's probably in better shape than any of them guys combined, especially Road Dogg. But Billy's 60 now. Maybe 60 is the new 50, but even 15 years ago, you didn't wrestle when you were 50.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's not wrestling that much, and him coming out as a manager to support, especially putting back with his kids. He could be doing both. He can still work back office and show up on television, with his kids, just standing outside the ring. But yeah, I'm just curious to see what we're going to happen with that whole dynamic.
Well, the whole Guns thing is kind of BS anyhow, because it's only been Americanized, or not the Guns. What the hell are they?
Bullet Club.
Bullet Club. Cool.
Yeah.
The whole Bullet Club thing's overused in TNA, AEW. Keep it in Japan where it originated. You know, because it's really doing nothing for me here.
Yeah, it's kind of like the NWO, how after a certain time it was like, look, guys, you're old. Let it go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not that everybody was old for the Bullet Club because they weren't at the time, but the whole premise is getting kind of old now, I
Yeah.
guess.
No, I didn't mean the actual people being old. I mean the premise of it.
Well, I know because the NWO, what was the average age of them guys?
Yeah.
46, 7, you know? And that's actually when Scott Hall and Nash were still fairly young.
Yeah, and let's just be honest. The whole Bullet Club thing was guys in professional wrestling who watched the NWO back when they were younger and decided to form the group because they were pretty much the same freaking shit, everything. So,
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. But Japan didn't have a faction like that, so it worked for Japan.
Japan absolutely had the NWO. They had NWO there at the time.
Really? Okay. All right. So, anyways, next we go to Ricochet to the ring. Pretty much bragging, saying he's looking for gold. And then Prince Nana comes out and he was pretty serious. He wanted the robe back. And I don't know what the robe actually signifies, but apparently it's pretty important to Prince Nana. And for Prince,
Yeah. You, Look, let's not forget, Prince Nana was a professional wrestler. Um, and for a moment there, when he came out by himself, and Ricochet said what he said to him, I was expecting maybe Prince Nana to come out of retirement for a second. And but it didn't happen. Look, I like this Ricochet. The fact that he's a heel makes up in a way for me his lack of ability that he struggles on the mic, just because he's such an arrogant little prick right now. I like this. His stupid laugh that he has, I like this. It makes him even more unlikable. So I like what they're doing with Ricochet right now.
yeah, no, I do too. I think him being a heel, he is better on the mic, to be honest. And there's no denying his ring work is a solid B plus A minus easily all day long. You know,
Yeah.
but on him that he can't break that ceiling.
Yep.
Anyways, Ricochet's not giving the robe back. It's a beautiful looking robe, but I don't know what it signifies, to be honest.
You think it's a beautiful looking robe? I think it looks fucking like a really cheesy freaking smoker's robe that you you know that somebody who couldn't afford to buy a real smoker's robe would buy at Walmart.
I thought you were going to go with carpet, but okay. All right. So next we go to, wow, we're already at that point, huh? Wow. Roderick Strong versus Orange Cassidy. What I didn't understand about this was all the hugging going on.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we, the fucking best friends? I was
Yeah.
happy whenever that gimmick went away. It's dumb. Now, but I'll be honest with you, and I sent you this in a message while the match was happening. I was expecting to see a official heel turn because the look Adam Cole was giving Orange Cassidy throughout the entire match. I'm like, holy shit, we are about to get a heel turn with the Undisputed, which I want to happen. I think that a group like the Undisputed would be much better as heels. I think Adam Cole as a singles wrestler is decent as a babyface, but in a faction like this, I think that they should absolutely be heels. And I think it's going to come because look, man, the look that Adam Cole was giving Orange Cassidy is not a look a babyface would give to another babyface. And yes, those looks were calculated. That was great on Adam Cole's part to make sure that he was giving those looks while on camera. The match itself, it was a decent match. I can't shit on it. I was actually a little surprised that Orange Cassidy won the match, to be honest with you. But he did. We're going to see the match between him and Takeshita.
Yeah, what I don't
Or,
understand was it was supposed to be a tournament, but
yeah,
with only one match.
right.
So how do you classify that as a tournament?
Typical Tony Khan, oops, not following through or misspeaking or whatever the fucking case it is. We again on this show tonight, we've seen it with MJF and Adam Page. And then we've seen it with the whole tournament bullshit. Now, as far as Orange Cassidy facing Takeshita, I'm torn about it. Because on one hand, we've seen it. But on the other hand, because Orange Cassidy has held that title for so long and so many times, there's a possibility that Orange Cassidy may beat Takeshita for the title. He may be the one. They seem to be really high on Orange Cassidy with carrying this particular title. So we'll see.
Yeah, but Orange Cassidy usually has a gang with him, and he's got no gang left.
No, nope. Mark hasn't been seen on TV in what, a couple of weeks now?
Yeah.
At least on Dynamite. Has he been in a collision?
Who?
Mark,
Davis?
no. Fuck, what is his last name? His brother was killed in an accident. In that truck accident, they were tag team champions at one time.
Briscoe.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe. Yeah, Briscoe. I haven't seen Briscoe on TV in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure if he's been on a collision or not. I don't remember him on a collision either.
I don't think so. I think he's been on for a couple weeks, and he lost Kevin O'Reilly, and then he lost that pit bull from Japan. Um, and I think there was one other guy that was running with him too, but then he also lost best friends, and so yeah, usually I've never really seen Orange Cassidy by himself come to a ring and not have some sort of group with him.
You're right, because ever since AEW started, he was with the best friends.
Yep, and he's on his own for a little, but not for long. And then he had the conglomerate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Collision, um, I'm looking forward to watching Collision. They're gonna have a couple of good matches on there. We're what, 2.5 weeks away from their pay-per-view?
something like that.
I tell you, they better get busy building more things up because this pay-per-view, although I know it's gonna be a good pay-per-view because all their pay-per-views are good, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, for those who are really drawn to these pay-per-views because of storylines, there's not a whole lot of storylines going into this pay-per-view that's really bringing out attention.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, MJF and Adam Page, that match is going to be really well, but I don't even think having them in a match is enough to draw in a whole lot of people for that pay-per-view. I don't know, just my opinion.
Nor
Um,
having Mox and Adam Copeland.
I
And
am so not interested or invested into this. I'm just not.
the only thing that's going to save it is Cope wins, and then Christian cashes in, beats Cope.
I agree. And I think that after that happens and they're done with their little whatever they're going to have, MJF is going to be the one that's going to take it off of Christian.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Although I really can't believe I'm saying this. I'd really like to see Jeff Jarrett sneak in there and steal it first, and then
Yeah.
have that off Jeff Jarrett like he claimed he would.
Yeah, we were really kind of getting along to this part in this podcast. You say stupid shit like that.
I can't believe I said it either because I've disliked Jeff Jarrett for God almost since day one. I've disliked Jarrett and have never ever considered him world champion material. But for God's sakes, the guy's on the tail end. He probably should have retired 5-10 years ago. But God damn it, give him his flowers and send him home.
I tell you what, I remember the first time I seen Jeff Jarrett back on WWE 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. I don't know, it's one of their reunion shows. And he looked fucking terrible. He had gained a bunch of weight. He looked terrible. And then when he popped back up on AEW, I'm like, holy shit, good for him. This man really got himself back into shape.
Yeah.
So look, I get the sentiment. You know, he's on his way out. You would like to see him have one more title run as a champ. I get it, but I'm just not a Jeff Jarrett fan. Never have been, never will be. I don't think that, and a lot of people could disagree because he is a legend within his own right. He comes from a legendary family with his father. But it's just, in my opinion, I don't think he adds a whole lot of anything to the title.
You know,
So,
adds, um, for lack of term, legacy. You know, yeah. You know what? I agree with everything you're saying, and for the last years, 5 years, um, I've been a hater of, well, a strong dislike of Jeff Jarrett's. You know, almost from the time he started wrestling in his dad's promotion, when he weighed 156 pounds, trying to pass himself off as 182 pounds, or whatever hell he was trying to pass himself off. I absolutely despised him in TNA when he was the world champion. I almost gave him on WCW when they gave him the world title, not once, not twice, but like 3 or 4 times. Um, you know, I think Vince McMahon had it right. He was a mid cutter at best, and he was comic relief at best. Um, but I don't know what's changed in me, but I really want to see the old man get one more run. You know, now if it gets down to him or Dustin, I'm sorry, Jeff, go to the back of the line. I give it to Dustin before I give it to you.
yeah, Dustin will never be a world champion again unless he a world champion in his own promotion. And there's nothing against Dustin. I love Dustin. I would love to see him AEW world champion. Make no mistake about it. I absolutely love the guy. I don't think Dustin wants to have that title on him, to be honest. There's a
Right.
reason why he is on there's a reason why he is on ROH, and it's not because he's not any good. He's in ROH because it is really part-time and it allows him to focus on his own promotion that he is building. So I don't think Dustin Rose would want that responsibility on him. He deserves it, or he earned it. Absolutely. He's earned it 1,000 times. He's great. He's still good on the mic. People still pop for this guy like he's a young stud in the ring. Um, you know, he's earned all of those things. So yes, he deserves it. I just don't think he wants it.
Yeah, I think there's some legitimacy to that, to be honest. And I think I had read somewhere that he would decline it or had declined it. And I
Well,
can't,
you know, go ahead.
no, I just can't remember if he actually said that or not. But I think you're right on the head there.
Well, I mean, look, he just came out and said that he is 100% retiring in 3 years. Yes, 3 years he's retiring. And I think that that's probably the goal he also gave himself to really get his promotion going. I mean, look, the very first show he put on with his promotion in Texas sold out. So I'd be watching that. He could be that dark horse. You never know. You know that they have to have pull with TV, right? You know, television and stuff like that. So I'd be kind of keeping a side eye on that because I wouldn't be surprised at all that in 3 to 4 years we see this unexpected promotion on television on a major television channel or network, and him kind of taking over professional wrestling as far as being the number two guy out there. Because look, I'm sorry, Tony Khan, but if you're going against a Rhodes with wrestling knowledge and how to run a show, you don't have a fucking chance in hell keeping that number two spot, in my opinion. The only thing Tony Khan may have going for him that Rhodes don't is the cash flow.
Yep. Yep. Um, and the names, you know. But I think Rhodes could probably sway some people to come to his promotion just because he is a Rhodes too.
But yeah, he could. Look, I wouldn't even be shocked. Cody Rhodes has achieved his dream in WWE of being the first Rhodes to actually be world champion. right? I would be shocked 3 years from now if he decides, nah, I'm going to help my brother out, either behind the scenes or as their top, whatever he's going to be. Wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. And you're right. I believe that between Dustin and Cody, if they work together, well, just Dustin alone could pull top guys to come to his promotion. I have no doubt. Then if you add Cody to the mix, fuck.
Yep. Yep. And Cody's already been there. He's already started promotion. He's got maybe not all the experience. I'm sure they hired legal and HR and all the admins. But Cody's got some knowledge on how to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. But well, that pretty much ends the show as far as the recap goes. Please subscribe to our channel. It's absolutely free. Monday, I am going to be having the cooker, Bob Cook, on, not as a co-host, but I'm going to actually be interviewing him. He had a long career in professional wrestling. We're going to be talking about his career within professional wrestling and what he's done after professional wrestling. I'm looking forward to that. Friday, tomorrow, I am going to be having on. This is actually take two. I originally interviewed him this past or one day last week. I originally interviewed him, and the quality of the podcast, I had such bad technical issues that I had to remove it. So I didn't. I published it, then I had to take it out. It was just too bad. So take two. This was a phenomenal interview that I did with him. Great guy. Looking forward to that tomorrow. And then, like I said, Monday, it's going to be Bob Cook. And then a week from Monday, I am going to be having Casey Anthony, a gentleman that was with WCW. He has faced Steve Austin back when it was, when Steve Austin had the blonde hair. He has been with WWE. Looking forward to that as well. And I'm going to be lining up more interviews for you guys to watch, especially a lot of these guys who are legends within their own right. I mean, they fought and helped build a lot of the guys that went on to become legends into the Hall of Fame. So looking forward to those things. Mark, you have anything?
Nope. Just ring the damn bell, brother.
Ring the damn bell, guys, and we will see you guys back for our recap for Friday Night SmackDown on Saturday. Till then, guys, you guys have a great rest of your week.